it is many who are going to be showered with your blessings. And I request the Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Sri T. Jayashankar, to honor the Central Council member and the Chairman of the Corporate Laws Committee, C. A. Santana Krishnan, with the shawl.
Santana Krishnan is the chairman of the Catholic Syrian Bank. He is on the board of various prestigious companies, including the Tata Group, Taj. We get a special concession also used to get for all of us. So less than Taj, we don't stay anywhere thanks to him.
I request the Chief Commissioner to honor CA past President Sunil Talati. I request the Chief Commissioner to honor CA V. Murli, the Chairman of the CPE Committee, on behalf of the Southern India Regional Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants. I request the Chief Commissioner to honor CA Palgo Kumar, the Regional Council member of SIRC of ICAI.
In fact, Palguna Kumar is a personal friend of our CCIT. Yesterday he has to go back. I said, Jayashankar sir is coming, he stayed back actually.
I request
See, one thing I want to tell about Palguna Kumar, he is a highly social focused person in schools, colleges, in small towns and villages. He used to create that awareness. He is such a person. Actually, that's why sometimes we may not be knowing, you may not know Chief Commissioner, you know how he has spoken. What is the humble, simple, actually, isn't it? So how the presentation, other side of a dimension, probably we'll be able to see. Like that, Palguna Kumar is socially focused person.
I would now request the Chief Commissioner to honor the ever young and green speaker of the day, C.A. Girish Ahuja. May I now request the Chief Commissioner to honor the C.A. Revati Raghunathan, who is a co-opted member of the CPE Committee of SIRC of ICAI. May I now request the Chief Commissioner to honor C.A. Abhishek, Central Committee member, co-opted to the Corporate Laws Committee of ICAI. May I now request the Chief Commissioner to honor C.A. Suguma, the Honorary Council of Zambia. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have to tell Mr. Arulvali to be honored. I am telling you this. 10 days I was away. I returned only on 26th evening from Trivandrum. We had a 5-day council meeting, myself, Santana Krishnan and all. Like a rock of Gibraltar. A person should be there in the headquarters and do the thing. He is the person. Velluday Vendarnu solla. in the professional side also we are gearing up actually. How the SME segment could be, could further, where we are going into the, how to increase the billings. That's the concept, volume, scaling. So in that background, a person who is doing a silent role, because I used to be in the organizing program, seminar and all. But this gentleman, I have seen the type of contributions he has made is tremendous. I'm telling you this. And when it comes to the rotation, it affected many of the SME segment also, because you may be the auditor of private limited company, the ceiling, to exclude it from the ceiling. He has only done that. One-man company, small company, dormant company should be excluded from the ceiling. All these things he has done. Certain times tempers will fly high. Other council members, what is the thing it is done? This has come out like this. You can. The earlier gentleman who was holding the corporate, young foreign educated person, the moment you start presenting, you'll say, I know where you're, I know. Like that. So the moment, next point, come on, you go to the next point. Sir, the internal control report. No, I know. Sir, relative definition. Relative, it's very difficult, sir. It's so, this thing, how much he is holding and all, we may not know. No, I know. Okay. So what happens, it becomes difficult. How to penetrate? Egos will be there. You have to penetrate it. They will have other say. But they will be thinking there will be a knee-jerk reaction to any scam also. Immediately you bring in. But you try to affect a larger section. So the intended, whatever the impact, it will be contrary to be proved. So you require a person who can handle this and highlight. That job has been done by him. In fact, let me briefly introduce him. The reason I am telling you, dear members, when you have certain work to be done, certain things to be there, how you will know? Unless and until you know, you may be applying for a loan. You may be going for some consumer thing or a home loan. There may be a director there. So unless and until you will be knowing, you may not be in a position to get it done. Over the phone you would have done it. Actually, being our professional independent director will be there. So, but this type of knowledge also required, not only our textbook, the networking and relationship building, which is required. That's why we try to do that where a person is associated. So it will be easier for you as such. And he is the chairman of the Corporate Laws and Allied Laws Committee, as well as IT Committee of ICAI, and eloquent, scintillating, erudite speaker. He is at ease with any topic, and his in-depth and succinct observations, lucid, well-researched, professional and impeccable, quality-conscious presentation and threadbare analysis of the subject are the hallmarks of the papers he presents. He is a true-blood Chennai Vasi. He has graduated in science from Presidency College and is a Bachelor of Law. He is a graduate of science, but he is having right chemistry with our ICAI, and he is a Bachelor of Laws from Madras Law College. Kanakam theriyum, vazhakkum puriyum irukku. And Sri Sandana Krishnan had his articleship training with Mrs. Brahmaya and Company and became an associate member in 76. He started his practice in the year 77, became fellow member of the institute in the year 82, and he is the founder partner of the firm Mrs. PKF Sridhar and Santanam. So when I talk about scaling as such, the number of chartered accountants, number of partners, the advisory firm, these are all important. Billings is important. That way, I'm proud. A person who started as a proprietor and a small firm, which has grown and having overseas connections, number of chartered accountants he employs, training he gives like an institution. You see, that is the thing we are all proud that way. He is the non-executive chairman of Catholic Syrian Bank, director on the board of Federal Bank, chairman of the audit committee. He is on the boards of IDBI, Federal Life Insurance Company, Tata Coffee Limited, Tata Realty, Tata Infrastructure, Tata Housing Development, Tata Global Beverages, XBRL India, TMI, the 8 o'clock Coffee Company, USA, and Consolidated Coffee. The list is endless. He is a member of NACAS, Core Committee on Implementation of IFRS and his MCA, and is on the Technical Committee of MCA to advise the government on accounting standards, rulemaking committee of MCA, and a member of the Serious Fraud Office of the MCA. So that you will know that whenever something is there, to whom, that is the thing. That's why I am indicating. He was a member of the Accounting Standards Board, constituted by ICAI for over 10 years. He is on the Accounting Standards Committee of CII, member of the FICCI Task Force on Corporate Governance, member of SEBI Group to discuss IASB exposure draft, chair the Committee on Business Valuation set up by the Government of India and member of various other committees constituted by RBI. He is the financial advisor to the Administrator Lakshadweep Islands Authority, Federation of Indian Airlines, member on the board of Indian Center for Assessment Accreditation. A person who believes in giving back to the society also is associated with Kurk Foundation, Chandrasekhara Trust and SANS Foundation. He has been a faculty earlier with the Institute of Chartered Accountants as well, a first generation practitioner who has started his practice virtually from the scratch. His bold, forthright and sometimes radical views and ideas on the future of the profession is visionary, and I am sure the profession also expect great things from him. And well, that way I feel we are on the same wavelength as far as idea for the future goes. By the dint of hard work and sheer grit, he has built up a strong group of committed, motivated team of professionals and has developed a model office to be emulated by one and all, carving a niche for himself in the profession. With this introduction, I have great pleasure in presenting before you Mr. Santana Krishnan. Please address our members. I want you the rotation of auditors, the related party, fraud reporting, the internal controls, what they have talking about, whether it is feasible, the role of the independent directors and how chartered accountants are best fitted, what we are doing to maintain the panel of independent directors as such, to what extent it is successful. Many of you would like to know the modus operandi. We have created a separate panel as well that has been done by him as such. So a lot of innovative ideas he has in store, always on the go, always active as such. So I request him to share with all the members.
Good morning, friends. My colleague Murli and Mr. Past President Mr. Sunil Kalati, Girish Ahujaji and my friends. Murli, I had already talked to them about you, so I said, many of what he said about me, why did I even I'll have to verify, I don't know where from he got it, but even I'll have to verify whether I'm in all that, but thank you very much for very nice words, Murli. But
Google only. Not Oodle, it is Google. It is actually.
Extremely happy to be here, but I thought I'll spend about 10-15 minutes on some of the issues. Just give me the topic now. I'll have to start talking about that topic also, which I will do, but I thought I should also tell you one or two things pursuant to what we discussed earlier. The profession today requires very high level of quality improvement. If you ask me, the gentleman asked me about fair, equitable distribution of the audits. I fully agree with him. But what is needed is putting a control on the larger firms and not on the smaller firms. All that I want to say is, if a large firm is having 200 tax audit, that can't be equated to a small firm having 200 tax audit. Now we are saying, if people have a bank audit, if people have a ONGC audit, you can't outsource it. When will the small firms ever learn unless you permit larger firms to have smaller firms as associates? Now, I have about 120 firms of chartered accountants working as associates for me. One can take a view, oh, I'm doing so much good for the profession. I'm doing nothing for the profession except saving my costs. Instead of having, it's equivalent to having 120 offices across. If I had set up 120 offices across, all that would have cost me so much of money that I would have never been able to do it. Today I am able to bid for any audit because I have named the place, I have an associate. Now, how does the associate get the benefit? He would have never got this audit. For example, you take Coca-Cola, you take Pepsi. You want to do a chroma internal audit or stock audit or whatever you want to do. Where do you do it? You can never do it. You will never get it because you are not known. And you are not in a city where you can do it. So this associateship and compulsory associateship by large firms, saying that large firms which are doing statutory audit shall not do tax audit, is a way that I cannot, even God doesn't make everybody equal, God doesn't distribute wealth to everybody to equal. So obviously institute cannot distribute wealth, equal number of audits to equal number of people, would never come. That is not word of God. God doesn't give everything equally to everybody. So let's recognize there will be inequalities between people, and that inequality we'll have to live with that. But what is very important is, have we made people as competent as the other? What do small firms require today? I'll take the income tax case, though I'm far away from the income tax department in terms of handling those cases. Transfer pricing. What is the difference between a large firm and a small firm? Large firm have a huge database. Small firms do not have a database. Can the institute provide you with a database? We can only make you equal to the large firm, but we can't get you work for the large firm. But if you get a small work, would you be able to handle it with the same amount of professional efficiency with which the large firms are expected to do it? It is something which we can do. Therefore, equal distribution of work may not be possible. But equal distribution or equally knowledge capable capacity, we can certainly bring it. That is what we can bring it. The second I should also share with you, since he has introduced me as the chairman of a bank. I have had a very major issue coming up. I'm also part of, since he has already leaked the news, I should share with you. I do a lot of work into SFIO and CBI in terms of investigations, financial fraud investigation. The financial fraud investigations that are going, financial frauds that are going around in our country, you would not be surprised if I have to make a statement, 50% of the financial statements are fraught with serious danger in terms of investments. I'll give you one case. I'm not able to disclose the exact amount, but multiples of crores, so it's not an ordinary sum. He had always booked fictitious revenue as revenue and shown higher revenue. It's simple. If you thought Satyam was a large amount, Satyam is very small in today's comparison to what is happening around us. He booked continuously fraudulent revenue, inflated revenue, and booked hundreds of crores as debtors. Obviously, when you book a revenue, it remains as a debtor. One day, it so happened that the analyst started questioning, how do I account for this so much of debtors? Why are you having so much of debtors? There's always a large firm which will give you an international brand. My president, Sunil Talati, was talking about the brand and the international brand, and the international brand gave an opinion. We will organize a discounting of the bills to you, and you can discount the bills. Mind you, June 15th, he is going and discounting a fraudulent debtor. Now, he charged 5% for the amount. Imagine if it is 1,000 crores. How much the firm would have earned, chartered accountant firm would have earned as commission. Beautiful. Then another accounting firm, which again a multinational accounting firm, gave an opinion that events occurring after the balance sheet date